In this video, I show you the full process how I designed this bullet point layout in Descript that you see here. So I will go through how to put your talking head in this position and add this kind of branded box. Then I will show how to add these animated bullet points, and I also show how to make this smooth transition back to your talking head like this. So here is the raw video file inside my Descript app, and as you can see, it's just normal talking head recording, and I just recorded this with Descript and it already translated this here. So now I first removed, there was small mistakes in the beginning, so I removed that. So I think I now need to create my first scene. So I put here slash after this you see here part, because in this beginning I will show like the full layout, and then after that I'm going to make those like animations that you just saw. So now let's start to build this layout in this first scene. So now the first scene is selected. I can click my talking head video which is right here, and I can now adjust it smaller, but we want that like portrait mode. So I click here this shapes and click this portrait. So now it's in this kind of aspect ratio. So let's go to crop mode again and little bit adjust still. The portrait mode here, it's not very wide, so I usually adjust it like a little bit to make it a little bit wider like this. And now I click done and I make this smaller, so then I can see it better what is like a good aspect ratio. I think that is pretty good. We can adjust that later. So now I just center it and put it somewhere here. So I want to have a little bit space here so the overall design looks then better. But let's now first change the background, because we want to adjust this more, but against this black background I don't see very well if we add, for example, shadow here or that kind of glow that you saw. So I click this background and I add here this kind of gradient. So you just go here gradient and then you can select your style. So I add here this kind of vertical gradient, and this is already one of my brand colors here. So what I just did here, that I changed this opacity of this color, so same brand color, but when we change this opacity, there is always like basically black layer behind. Even this background color, there is like black layer. So if you change this opacity to 0, it goes to black, but I think we change it like maybe 50% for now. But now we already have this background color change and this talking head in the right position. So now I click this talking head and go here to properties, and here I now select this corner radius, so I put this to 50, and now we get this kind of rounded corners. And if I select now this and click this effects, I can add this shadow effect here. And by the way, if this isn't showing here, you can click here add effect, and the shadow effect is then here. Sometimes it will show, sometimes it will not, but that is the way how you can get that. And now we change that shadow by clicking this effect settings here, and we change the shadow color to white, and now basically we get this kind of glow effect for this talking head window. But because it's shadow, the glow isn't here because it's like in the 45-degree angle, so we can maybe adjust that a little bit. So how about no? We can actually probably set these to 0. Let's see, I don't know, will this work? Like 0. And now I think it's like everywhere, yes. And then in the effects back here and shadow effect settings, and now we can increase this blur to be a little bit bigger. So now we basically get that glow effect like this. And maybe let's see if we put it, this is the color opacity of the shadow. So maybe I put it like 50 and then just adjust, maybe 15 is good. Like this. So now we have this kind of little bit glow effect behind our talking head. And now let's add that box here. So we go here to elements and click this filled box like this. And now I just change this width by tracking this here. And I just pay attention basically that this part is the same size than this part. So then it will look pretty good. But we also want to check that it's similar width than this part here. So I go a little bit further like this and same here and here. So now we are pretty close. And then I drag it here, maybe like 1/4 of this width of your talking head. Now if we select this talking head, go to this layer order and click this bring to front, and now we already have this pretty good looking layout here where there's a lot of space to add anything that you want to put in this branded box. So you can use the same setup now, for example, put images here or anything else. You don't need to use bullet points. But I think I actually move this little bit, this talking head, and also adjust these. I just like that there is a little bit more space around, even though it's a little bit takes away the space that you have here to put things in this box, but still I prefer this way. And now let's change the color of this. So you select the box and click this fill, and I put here my brand color that is this kind of dark blue, but it's already gone, I think, here. So I have Google Sheet where I have all my brand colors, so it's easy to copy these different hex codes here. I copy this and now it's in my brand color, and let's also adjust the corners on this box. So again, here in the properties and here corner radius, I set 50, the same that is on my talking head. And also let's add effect here and the shadow. So now we don't want to have that same glow effect here because it doesn't look very good. So we just add the normal shadow effect with basic settings. So it's pretty good already. It just pops out a little bit even more on the background. So now we are already far away. So now we need to add that title and those bullet points. So again, let's go elements. Let's check this title and I change this to Inter, and let's put here that title, and that was this bullet point layout in Descript, but this is too big, so let's adjust the font like this, maybe here, and then I change it to Inter Black like this, and now we can adjust a little bit smaller like this, and I will change the color of this to be maybe my yellow brand color is pretty good for this setup. So it's always good to have all your brand colors that you use in one, for example, Google Sheet, because you will be using those a lot. Maybe I put the headline here. This could also be even here on the top and centered. This could also work. Especially I would put the headline here if I would put here like 3 steps, like some images here, or that could definitely work to be here. But I think in the bullet point layouts, it's good to have like, I just like it to be like over the bullets. maybe I put it a little bit smaller and okay, let's adjust that later somewhere here, maybe now. And now we need to add those bullets, so that then we use this text object, and now we can put here all the bullets. And if you just want the normal bullet points, you can just add this slash and enter. It will change to bullet points like this, but I will make those kind of different looking bullet points. So first bullet point is basically talking head plus glow. Second bullet is branded box. And third bullet is basically animated bullets. So basically what I say in this next chapter, I will put here in the bullets. And now I will push Control Command Space in Mac, and I will get this pop-up so I can add emojis here. So I now use bullet points, these check marks. So I just add here check mark, and now I can copy this and add it here like this. So now I basically have bullet point list that is more like designed. And I change actually this also, maybe inter black, or maybe intermedium is better here. I want little bit space between these bullet points, so I can select this and go here to properties again. And here I can click this little settings here, and here I can adjust the line height. So I just put this maybe 1.75 is actually pretty good. It's okay, but the font is too big versus this title font, so we can adjust this maybe bigger. Let's test what if it would be here, and if these would be like centered. So now at least it should be very clear to see. I don't know, does it look good or not? I basically like that it's clear. I want always my videos to be super clear to see and understand, and that's why I'm creating these different layouts. Maybe we should like center this so it's actually centered. And I also want to center between this line and this line so it look good. Okay, I think I actually like this. Maybe I move this a little bit here. Yeah, I think that is actually our layout. And now we just need to animate these. But in the start, when I say this intro, I wanted them to be just here. Maybe here I put the next scene, and I want this to be like talking head. If I select this scene, there is automatically this smart transition enabled. So I now play this here. So I will go through. So now it's pretty smooth to this talking head. So I will go through like this. And now I want basically one by one these different parts of this layout to appear. So when I say talking head in this position, I put here another slash, and I now will copy this full layout. So I just right clicking and clicking copy layout. Then I go here and paste layout. And now I just basically remove everything else than my talking head. So let's play now. Through how to put your talking head in this position and add. And now it's actually starting to come together. And then when I say and add this kind of branded box, so then the box should appear. Again, I just copy this full layout and paste it here. And now I just remove these. Now let's play it from the beginning. Head in this position and add this kind of branded box. Okay, it's pretty good. And then the third one is, then I will show how to add these animated bullets. And here I add a slash again, and I here again paste this layout. So let's see how that will play.
Branded box. Then I will show how to add these animated bullet points, and I also show how to.
Okay, but now we need to animate those bullet points. So I select this text box and click here animation and in animation, and there is bunch of different animations that we can choose, but I think this review is pretty good, and I think the duration is, we could time it here, so I think it's like maybe 2.5 seconds or something like that. Let's see. Okay, let's play this.
Then I will show how to add these animated bullet points, and I also show.
I think it's actually can be a little bit longer. So let's change that to 3, but we also want to animate this title slide. So let's add here maybe slide animation. So if we want that slide to appear from the left, so like this, and maybe let's try the word. So let's see how that goes.
Then I will show how to add these animated bullet.
Not very good. Let's change that to all and maybe speed up easing. Let's see how that will go.
Then I will show how to add these animated bullet.
That is pretty cool, actually.
That box. Then I will show how to add these animated.
This need to be come first and then these bullet points second. So we can add just here these to be a little bit later, come a little bit later just by tracking this. So let's see how that will look.
Then I will show how to add these animated.
It's better.
Then I will show how to add these animated bullet points, and then I will show how to add these animated bullet.
I don't know, maybe this title slide should also use the same reveal animation because those others are using the same. Let's see.
Then I will show how to add these animated
yeah, I think it's better.
points, and
yeah.
I also.
So now we are basically almost ready. And remember that when you have made your this layout ready, you should save it by right-clicking the scene where is your ready-made layout and save scene as a new layout. And I will put that here in my branded layouts back and just save this as bullet point layout version 4, I think is current one, and just click save. So now it's saved and you can use this same layout in your future projects very easily, because inside Descript all the layouts are saved here and you can select any layout you want, and there are a ton of ready-made layouts. I just want to make my own ones. And now finally, as you can see, there is this kind of flash happening here that isn't very smooth. That's because this background color is different in these talking head scenes, as you can see. So now we need to change this to the same gradient background. I think it was this one, and gradient, and this one. So let's now go to beginning and play this full clip, how that will sound, or actually we just check this part.
Our talking script that you see here. So I will go through how to put your talking head in this position and add this kind of branded box. Then I will show how to add these animated bullet points, and I also show how to make this smooth transition back to your talking head like.
Back to your talking head like this. Actually, I should put here the slash, and this whole thing should have lasted longer. So let's copy this layout and add it here. And now we don't want those same animations to happen again. So I think, let's see if I right click here and merge with scene after. So now it probably will work, but the bullet point, these bullets aren't coming later. So let's see now.
Then I will show how to add these animated bullet points, and I also show how to make this smooth transition back to your talking head like this.
Okay, now it's much better, but the earlier transition was too quick, so
out in Descript that you see here. So I will go through how to put your talking head in this position and add this kind of branded.
Well, maybe not. It's little bit quick.
Descript that you see here. So I will go through how to put your talking head in this position and add this kind of branded box.
Actually, I think I copied this layout here and put it here like this. So let's see how that will go.
That you see here. So I will go through how to put your talking head in this position and add this kind of branded box. Then I will show how to add these animated bullet points, and I also show how to make this smooth transition back to your talking head like this.
Okay, now I think it's ready. So hopefully you learned here how to make this kind of animated layouts with Descript, and maybe you got some new ideas how to make your own talking head videos to be more engaging and maybe more polished one. And if you want to have more information and my personal help, please join my Skool community. I will leave link below. It's called the One Person Show, and there I show how you can create and edit and post your videos faster. And we use a lot of Descript also on that community. Hopefully see you in here, and I will put here next video that you should watch. So hopefully see you in the next video. Bye bye.